and in today's episode we are going to look at how to design a simple flyer like this. This one is called bridal packages. So those of our friends who are into makeups, and then if you want to make a bridal package, you can be using this simple. You can also follow this one as well and then use it for your designs. And in this design, you're not going to use any sophisticated tools in Photoshop. You are just going to focus on using some of the simple tools like the shape tool and then the gradient overlay, and then we are done with our designs. So without wasting much time, let's dive into Photoshop. So we are here in Photoshop and we are now going to start our design. The first tool we are going to concentrate on is moving straight to the shape tool and then right click, select our rectangle tool. We are going to draw our first shape on top here, and then this shape here we are going to master how to use the gradient tool in our subsequent episodes. But for this we are going to learn how to use this simple trick in our designs. So this rectangle tool here is having a solid color, and this solid color, I'm not going for this solid color, I'm going for a color that is matching the image. But first of all, let me drop in the image for you to get to know the kind of image I'm talking about. That image is found here in bridal, and this is the image. So I'll just hit place, then I'll have my image in Photoshop. So it's very large. Let me just squeeze it a bit. Okay, Photoshop is misbehaving. Let me just squeeze it, and then we have this. No, Control Z. Let me bring in the image again. This, and then hit place. I'll hit on my Alt or Shift, and then make sure that this image is shifted. When we are done with this, it means that we can pick colors that we want to use in our design from this. And the very first color is going straight to the effects here by making sure that the rectangle tool is selected. Then you come to effects, gradient overlay, and then the gradient overlay. You see the Photoshop has already given you a gradient, but this is not going to match our design, so we hit on this, and then we have two edges. The first one, you hit on that, and then you select color that you want. I'm going to use the color right from the lap or from the leg of the lady for the first color. Then I'll hit OK, and then come to the last part here, and then hit on delete. Okay, I'll hit on this and then select this reddish color and hit OK. Okay, then come to this place and hit on radar. I know I'm choosing this radar, and then place this radar to the exact point that I want it to be showing. Okay, then I'll hit OK. Now we have to make sure that this whole rectangle tool takes every portion of our sheet. So I'm going to stretch it, and then now we have it covering every aspect of our world. The next tool again, since I'm done selecting my colors, let me just off this for the meantime, and then move straight to our rectangle tool again, and then let me use our rectangle tool to draw my shape here. The shape. So our tool has been drawn now, our ship. We are done drawing our ship. But the color here is going to be white. So the fill portion here is selecting the white. You can select that from this place here. And you can also do that by selecting it from where I went. That is this place. This particular place, we have the fill and then the stroke. I'm going to ensure that this is enlarged a bit. I'm taking my time and then mark. The stroke should be off for me, but when you are the one designing, you can choose to add your stroke. The portion here, which is circled with a dot, you double click and stretch it forwards. Then you come to the other portion, you double click, and stretch forward to this particular portion again. You make sure that they align. It aligns with this. I'm trying to create that circular shape that we saw in the video. And then that will come down here. You also have this coming down. You bring this shape so that we get enough space to create our text box on top over there. Please, I hope you are following this tutorial. The first one again we are going to look at is bringing in our shape tool on top of this and drawing a nice square or rectangle. We also ensure that the curves here, we double click, send it on top, double click on top, and then double click again on top. We make sure that this fits our design that we want right now. Okay, nice one. Then the color here, you pick any color from our background. I'm going to pick this color, which is gray here. I'll make sure that the stroke is off. Yes, it's already off. Then our shape tool again. You see we are using more shapes in this, and designing is about knowing how to use the shapes, and then you are good to go. This shape, also make sure that the top one is curved, and then this one here is curved. You can duplicate the one here, but because this is just a tutorial, that is why I'm taking my time to make anything afresh. Okay, so we are done here. Now for this one, I'm going to give it a stroke. Why? Because I want to set the difference between this and that. So the stroke here is going to be 0, and I'll make sure that the radius is not 1 pixel, which is not enough. So that will come to, yes, I think 26 or so is okay. That is where we're going to bring in our design or our image. So we come to file, place embedded, and then the image is here. Then we select and hit on place. Let's ensure that the image is rightly on top of the kind of shape we want to fix in this clipping mask. So here this image is on top, so I'll just right click on my image from the layer panel and click on create clipping mask. You see the image has been clipped, but it's up to you to make sure that it fits in well. So I'm going to make sure that it fits in this well, the laps, has to be shown, and I'm done with that one. Okay. So we are done bringing in our image, and then we need to get this particular what shape change. The color here, I have to change the color. Let me pick a different color. I don't want this. I don't want this as well. So you play around with the colors. I don't want this. Let me pick it. Okay. Gotten this color here. You go back to our rectangle tool and draw a rectangle to here. Let's make sure it's on top. The fill color should be off, and then stroke should be white. Let's ensure that the radius of the stroke here, which is 1 pixel, is increased. Okay, white is okay. I still have to reduce the radius. It's too much. Yes, this is okay. And make sure it fits in the circle. And that is it here. Now the next is typing in our text. I'll go back to my text tool. The text is here. Let me just copy and paste it here. I can't type again. This lattice. The text is lattice. I'll just bring it in and drop it right here. But you see, it's not showing because it's hiding behind the shape. So you just have to hit on this and bring it straight on top. And then we have this text. But you see, the color is not blending at all. The lattice and then the background is not blending. Because of that, we have to play around and select a particular color that fits and shows this lattice very well. And this is okay. We then enlarge our text so that it could be large enough for people to see. Now the next text I'm going to bring in is this one. I'll just drag and drop, and then I'll have it here. The next text is going to be this. I'll just drag and drop and fix it in here. I just want to make this tutorial very short so that we can get enough time the next time. You see, we had a line in between, so I'll go back to my shape tool and draw that line in between the text and give it a black or a dark color. And we are almost done. Let me zoom in and make sure that this one this fits good. What comes next is bringing in our shapes. I'll just drawing the shape here. I don't think by now most of you cannot create shapes. This is just drag and drop tutorial, because the rest have shown you where the rectangle tools are. You can use them to draw this similar shape. Since this shape is right here, let me hit Ctrl G to duplicate and then bring it right here, and then what's left is to add the prices. But here, let's make sure that it is alignment, because alignment is very key in design. So when you zoom, now to make sure that the shapes here are in line, and yes, and they are in line. And we have to bring in our price as well. Price, these are the prices. Just hit it right here. And then the next one is this. And 1,600 Ghana cedis. Let me use this opportunity to let you know that this is not just the only design I made. There were plenty, but this is just for tutorial sake. And for this, I think it's very simple that many of you would want to inculcate and use them to attract more customers, especially the makeup artist, and then those who are into any business that relates to these bridal packages. Thank you very much. My name is Excellence Brown, and then see you in my next episode. Bye bye.